Hello, everyone. In today's session, we'll be talking about a simple storage service in AWS. So, coming to your AWS is nothing but Amazon Web Service, which is one of the leading cloud service provider. So, here the main features of your AWS is nothing but it provides services like compute, storage, and database as services with pay-as-you-go method with user-friendly and secured way. Okay, so come, let's begin the session. Okay, so coming to your S3, coming to your S3 is nothing but Amazon Simple Storage Service. So it's nothing but it's a block storage service, and it is globally. Okay, it is globally you can access this particular storage as well as access the data which has been stored in that particular storage. A huge amount of data can be stored for a very long duration of time. So if you see your S3 is the main building block of your AWS. And I can also say it is the backbone of your AWS. And we'll go to a step-by-step approach of your S3. So when I'm going to keep the data or store the data in your AWS, usually we are going to consider files and folders when we are going to keep the data. So here in your AWS, in S3, we are using certain terminologies called as buckets for your directory and objects for your files. So we can keep different types of objects like your files, JPEG, photos, images, videos. So different types of formats or documents, files in large amount can be stored here. So there is a naming convention for this particular storing of your data. Okay. Okay. We'll go to the console. So when you're going, I have logged into as the root user. So here what you can just see is I have logged in as my root user and I have selected my S3 service. So in your S3, if you see, here S3 is nothing but a simple storage service where you can create some buckets and all those things. Here already some buckets are already been created. Okay, so this in buckets we have some objects that is nothing but like files. So I've used some simple objects. So what we are going to see is how to create a bucket. So let me go back to my buckets option and I'll show you how to create a bucket. So going here, so select a name. So you can see as the naming convention, it should not contain spaces or uppercase letter and it should be unique. And bucket can be region specified. By default, ACLs by default, ACLs are disabled. Okay. And all the public access is also disabled. So let it be as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just checking whether this bucket name is unique. So go there and a bucket is created. So you can see bucket is created. But it shows that objects, bucket and objects are okay. So we'll go here and I'll show you how to upload an object. So go here, go to the bucket and select the option upload. So if you go here, upload, go for add files. So when you go for add files, you select one option, beach. Any image you can select. Okay, I'll add one more file, coffee. Okay, so I selected two files and I'm going to upload it. So it's been uploaded. So we'll go back. So you can see that two files are being uploaded, beach and coffee. So if I'm clicking on a particular file, what will happen is this is what will be my overview. So who's the owner? That is the root account name, region, who's been modified, and URL, the Amazon resource name and URL tag. So by default, if I'm trying to open that file, it's not happening. So let me try it. I have selected the URL and I have copied the URL and I'm going to try to access it. So what is it showing me? It is denied. So what I have to do is I have to enable the permissions. So go here, go to the permissions. So two options are there. One is the bucket and then for the object. First, go for the, we can do both the ways. So I go for the permissions, go for the properties. In my bucket, I select that beach and select the actions and go down. This option is showing disabled. Make public using ACL is disabled. So what I'll do is first I'll go for the bucket option, permissions. It is showing block public access. I'm going to edit this and I'm going to uncheck. So anyone can access it or you can select a particular. So by default, I'm going to uncheck all this and I'm going to confirm this. Okay. So I have objects can be public. I have made it as public. Next, the ownership, I'm going to edit it and enable ACL. Okay. Oh no, by default, ownership is object owner preferred and save changes. Once this is done, okay, your ACLs are enabled. Once this is done, go back to that objects. Now, which object you want? I'll select my beach. So I'll go here, select that option actions, and I want to make it public. So I'm making it public only my beach. So one is being enabled. Done. So it is successful. So go here, select it, select the beach URL and copy that object URL of that beach and try to access it. I'm able to access, but let me try your one more. Okay. So coffee, I have not made it public. Okay. So I'm just trying to access it. Copy URL and try to access it. I have not made it public. Yeah. I'm just trying to access it. So still it is showing denied. Now what I'll do is I'll make coffee also as public. Go here. Okay, I'm making it public. So make public. So it's also public now. So select that. So go back, select that coffee and go back to actions, or let me say select it and copy the URL and go here, copy it and paste. So you're able to access. So this is what we are seeing. So what I wanted to show you was what is S3 simple storage service, and what exactly we are doing with your S3. S3, we are creating buckets and we are uploading your files in the form of objects. So this is what we are doing in case of your buckets. Okay. So here, whenever I'm going to store the data can be stored for a particular duration of time. Fine. So I can say that for how long I can store the data. So let me show you certain things. So this is the full path, and this is what the content which I mentioned. So there is something called as a life cycle for storing this particular data. So for how long you want to store the data, how often you're going to access the data. So based on all these things, we can configure it. Okay. So, and we also have one more term called as object lock, which helps the data from being deleted for an indefinite or for a fixed amount of time. And we also have an option called as replication, where the data can be replicated from one to another bucket in the same or a different region. So these things about other policies, classes, we'll be seeing in the next session. And also there are some terms called as storage classes, where we are going to see how frequently you're going to access the data. Okay. So based on that, we have something called as standard, which needs to be highly available and durable. Then we have infrequent access. So here, infrequent access is nothing but the data will not be accessed frequently after it has been stored. Okay. And we have one more option, that is your intelligent tiering. So it automatically classifies which data is frequently accessed and which is not frequently accessed. This is mainly done to saving the cost. So this is about your S3. That is nothing but a simple storage service. We also saw how to get into the console, how to create a bucket, how to upload or how to create an object, and how to upload the object, and how to make it publicly accessible. Fine. So this was all about in today's session. So for more details, we'll be seeing in the next session. Thank you.